So, you and I were talking briefly before we got to the panel about collaboration and getting so many different points of view, something that you hadn't experienced in the television work that you did. And I mentioned to you that I had experience in this brief television work that I've done. And it seems like if you're creating something for television, you engage with many writers at the same time. You have a writer's room and you're engaging with many. So you have great experience with this, and you, Jeffrey, have great experience with this as well. And so why is that a different situation to have that kind of a situation as opposed to what we very rarely do, work with multiple writers at the same time in making a motion picture, right? As a way of getting it to the screen, if you will. And in fact, we really try to limit the amount of writers that we work with so that we can actually have, the best vision.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference in television in terms of collaboration, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, of like, in comedy, it's definitely collaborative because you're looking for the best joke, funniest idea goes in kind of thing. So we really rely on each other, and stuff comes up in the room and you're laughing all day, and it's really a great time. But the showrunner is setting the tone and the vision, and is the director of the room, if you will. But in television, it's a staff, and that staff is respected, and there's a hierarchy within it. But it's all about the collaboration, and which I think is a beautiful thing. And then it's funny, TV writers, we sit around and we're just like, man, you get into that film writing world, and they just people just rewrite your stuff all the time, and you have the job 1 minute, and then you do your part, and then someone else comes in and does it, and
sometimes they bring you back.
And sometimes they bring you back, and so it is just so different, but it works well because of how the showrunner is running it. And I will say, though, which we talked about, it's like how it starts from the top and it trickles down. So if the showrunner is all about collaborating and having fun and all that kind of stuff, that's how the culture of that particular show will go. And I've been fortunate to have been on shows where the culture was collaborative and fun.
You have been a showrunner.
I've done that too, yeah. And I think that look, in some ways, I've been either fortunate or whatever. I've sat in each chair. I've been a writer for other directors in film. I have been the boss of other people as a writer, as a showrunner. I've hired directors. I've directed for other people. So I've kind of sat as a producer, director, and writer in different chairs. And I don't know. I almost want to say the dirty secret is the jobs aren't that different. We're all filmmakers. Everyone's trying to do the same. Same thing's true with your crew. Maybe you found this. I find that I treat my crew the way I treat the actors sometimes. If you have a good DP. Sometimes I'll tell them exactly where I want the lens, the camera, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I'll just say, look, it's a scene about emotion. These two people should be feeling each other. And let them bring something to the table. You can always come in and change it if you're, luckily enough, in the position of power, whether it's a director on a set, or frankly a producer, a power producer in the feature world can really push the film in different directions too, depending on the level, depending on who the director is and what their track record is. So there's a lot of different versions of it. I think that what happens in TV, the analogy is a little bit more like for us in features with sequels. You might have once the tone has been established, once the world is established, you could have another writer come in and do third or fourth or fifth in a series. They have different people working on the Marvel movies. Same thing with, and they've already got they know what the world is, they know the tone, they know the actors. So I think in TV, once the series gets going further along, it's easier for those parts to be more interchangeable. That being said, there's some incredibly unique single-voice shows in which one personality dominates everything. Famously, Aaron Sorkin apparently was an incredibly hands-on writer on almost all of The West Wing. Right. So I think that, the same thing's true in movies. You have people once the first one's been made of something, then I think there's that opportunity for people to come in and be additive sometimes.